Hi, Patrice here. I, I'm on my way to the hospital again to see my husband, and I'm rather annoyed at the moment with people. Some I don't like when I don't think anybody likes for someone to tell them what to do, especially like constructive like advice, and especially advice that you asked for. That kind of stuff is beautiful. But you need to do this and you need to do that. I actually don't. I don't need to do anything. I'm doing what I need to do. So I'm annoyed with that narrative and trying to keep my cool. And I've never cursed anybody out as an adult. As a child, yeah, I cussed many person out. But as an adult, I've never like felt the need or anything to curse anybody out. But I'm kind of feeling the spirit at times these days, between that and then dealing with my own issues. Like the whole people pleasing thing is rearing its ugly head with all this stuff regarding my husband's hospital stay. And I'm sticking to my guns though, and even though it feels foreign, telling myself, no, Patrice, you do what's best for you and Jermaine and those kids. That's it. Anybody else, whatever. Like, seriously, because people getting angry or what do you call it, offended or whatever, that's your problem. I'm sorry for it. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I got to do what's best for me, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I got enough, I say enough, enough to deal with than to deal with somebody else's emotions and feelings behind me doing what's best for me and my family. So and then I'm annoyed too. I'm smelling some bull with a particular person that, yeah, it's just I don't, all my life when I would like smell that poop on people, and I'm catching a whiff of their, like, just not being genuine or sincere or having ulterior motives. And so I'm not talking about with this situation, but just people in general having these like ulterior motives, or like very combative, and like this what you need to do, and you ain't asked them at all for their opinions. Nor do they have a right to speak into your life like that, because they ain't doing nothing. When I would smell that kind of stuff, because I always sensed it right away, but I would just ignore it. And I'm feeling like I'm at a point now where I'm not gonna just ignore it. That doesn't mean that I have to be combative and ridiculous, but what it does mean is that I am not going to succumb to it. I'm not gonna just allow people to say and do whatever and change my plans and reroute the trajectory of my life because it suits them. So I'm not doing that no more. So I feel very empowered with that. I feel good about that. And I haven't been able to like sleep past 4 a.m. now, and no matter what time I get to bed. And I got up one morning, my daughter, she, poor thing, I don't know what time I was up cleaning that day. I hope it was a little later than 4. I think it was, because I was chatting with friends in Africa and England, at that, like at 4:30 in the morning, because it was, later for them. But I got up at some point and I started moving furniture, sweeping and mopping. And she came down. She said, "I just wanted to say good morning to you because I heard you down here doing construction." I was like, "Oh." I said, "I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was being loud. I couldn't sleep. So it was just like, okay, get up and go down there and do that, So that's what I did. But this morning when I woke up at 4, I just had a good cry. And I've been thinking about different people and what I want to do. And I'm regarding I forgot to notify some people, and just because you get into this whirlwind of activity, and then I have a few of my children are sick now, and so it's a lot. I'm going back and forth to the hospital, picking my daughter up from work, taking her to work, and trying to take care of all the other kids. And it's a lot. It's just a lot on top of this whole recovery journey, So, and then I got some feelings with all that too, of course. Another thing though that that's I guess the negative, right? Something that I'm really pleased about is that hold on for a second. Hi again. So I had to stop the other video. I'm gonna edit. I usually don't like to edit, but I'm gonna have to do it with this one. So I'm not gonna edit it a whole lot because you're gonna hear all this. But anyway, I wanted to share how the good that has come out of this, some of the good. By no means at all, no means whatsoever do I feel alone, and I'm so grateful for that. I haven't felt alone for years now, actually, because I asked God several years ago to make himself more real to me than anybody on this earth, and he's done that. And it's been absolutely wonderful. And the outpouring of love and support has been great. And with regards to me doing these videos and also this new thing with my husband as well. And it was nice because a few days ago, so my husband has gone to different events, like church related events, and he sees, how I'm well loved and, all that. I am that type of person that wherever I go, I'm widely loved, and genuinely loved. And it's wonderful. I love it. And I love people. And it doesn't end at stuff like that. Wherever I go, the stores that I frequent, it's there too. So my husband and 4 of our children and we went to 2 stores that I frequent. And the first store, it was cute how I saw some of the people that work there who I talk to them, I talk to them all the time. And so I'm introducing them to my husband, and they're telling my husband how I'm one of their favorite people that comes in there. And it was really nice, for my husband to be able to witness that, even at the stores and all. And I remember one time my Aunt Guppy, I'm sure you're watching, me, Guppy, and my cousin Tammy we went to some stores, and people that know me, they like, hey, we all talking and everything, and I introduced them to my family. And then we went to another store, and my Aunt Gut was like, do they know you in here too? And I'm like, yeah. But so anyway, that was really nice. And like, and one of the people, he said, so I know your wife, and he was like, she's one of my favorites. I always tell her stories when she comes in here. He's an amazing storyteller. So he's like, so what's your name and all, and introduced himself to my husband. And then we left that store, and it was like a good 4 or 5 people. So it was like, I'm sure it was a lot, for him. Like, whoa, like, what? What is she doing when she's out, kind of thing. But it was nice. And then we went to another store, and at this store, Jermaine wanted to buy some fish. The fish was $8.99 a pound. Previously, on this day, it was $11.99 a pound. And so Jermaine walked up. I wasn't like up there yet. And Jermaine walked up, and the man asked if he could help him. And Jermaine told him that he wanted the fish, but he sees that the price went up from $8.99, and he was like, yeah, we just changed it or whatever. And so my children started to walk up, and I was like right behind them. And the man looked and was like, are all of these your children? And it was only 4 of them with us at the time. But he recognizes my children. He knows me and he knows my children. So Jermaine said, yeah. And he said, in fact, all of these are mine. And he pulled me in too. And we all laughed. And then the guy looked and he said, is this your husband? And I was like, yep. And Jermaine started to walk away. And he said, tell him to come back. And so Jermaine came back, and he said, you have a really good wife. And he told the kids, you have a really good mother. And he said, if you want the fish, I'll give it to you for $8.99 today. And he said, because I like her a lot. And I was just like, oh. And Jermaine bought 6 pounds of it, so he saved, just under $20 on that. So that was a real nice thing, to see for him. And then now conversely, with having to contact people to let them know what's going on with him, because my husband is he has a lot of things that he does, and like as far as work, and he's really like all over the place. And so he's one of those people that's the, he's the guy, the go-to guy, and and he's widely loved and all. And it's been overwhelming to in a wonderful way to see how many people really do love him and care for him and are proving it. And yeah, it's just nice, very nice. So I'm real happy with that, and trying to just do my best to do what I need to do for everyone. And I'm admittedly struggling to do for myself, because I'm still not eating, although I did drink some tea today because I got a little tickle in my throat, and so I made sure I had some elderberry tea with some peppermint in it. And I'm gonna do what I can do for myself. But the eating is hard. Like when I don't have an appetite, like some people will eat even if they don't have an appetite. That's like, I can't do that. That's weird for me. I don't. It's very uncomfortable. So, so I am here at the hospital, about to go on in here, and I will chat with you later. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you later.
Please take
Bye.
the parking ticket.
Hi, Patrice here. I'm my voice is a little wonky, but I'm so, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so happy. I'm leaving the hospital now, and after visiting my husband, I stayed there with him for several hours, and because I stayed with him for several hours early in the day, and then I nurse my baby and get my daughter from work and make sure everybody eats dinner, and then I take them all with me to go and see him again, and the girls go and see him. The boys can't go in, they're too young. to go into that part of the hospital. So but today when I went in there and I said hi to my boy Toy, he opened his eyes and he like, you know, was trying to like get up and all, and I was like, oh, yeah, he's been heavily sedated, so sleep, and this is all like medically induced, so they heavily sedated him as well as they paralyzed him also. So he's just been like a rock, you know, and laying there. And this is, you know, the first time like I went in there, I held his hand and I said hi, and he looked, you know, and I'm like, oh, like, you know, made my day, because I was up at 4 this morning, couldn't sleep. I seem to have a pattern of not being able to sleep past 4 no matter when I go to sleep these days, because, you know, I miss him, you know. But I got up at 4 this morning, or I woke up at 4 and I just laid in the bed and just cried, and like good old ugly cry too. But so yeah, he made my day, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to gain an appetite and want to eat tonight, because it's been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's been 3 days. I haven't eaten anything in 3 days. But we shall see. But his co-workers were telling me to get some Ensure or something like that, so that I'm getting something. But I did have tea today though, so that's good. That's something, you know. But yeah. So happy, like seriously, because it's been rough. It's been rough, no joke. And yeah. So I'm gonna end this here again, because I ended the video, and now I'm back again, and I'm just gonna have every thing that I did to get today tagged on as one video. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking this journey out with me. And yeah, I'm happy. Bye.